Hello everybody! How are we all doing? Gonna get these comments up. Hey Chad! Oh, my wife's here. Hello Aga. Dr. Aga. Steve, Bob, Greg, Jody, Gary, John, Paul, Peter, Noah, Ed. How you doing, guys? Good to have you all here, guys and ladies, of course. We're just going to let it build up. So we've got the electric guitar today, but don't fear, you can use any guitar you like. You can use electric or acoustic. But today we're going to be looking at improvisation. Today is where it all comes together, guys. Where everything that we've done over the week is going to culminate in us being able to pick up this guitar and express ourselves. And for me, the essence of blues is that. And that's what blues taught me to do. It's taught me how to treat the guitar differently, how to not play stuff from memory, how to pick up and play stuff from here. It's quite cheesy, but it's true. Right, and that's what we're going to get into today. So we're going to learn how to play by ear, easy. We're going to learn how to define major from minor, and we're going to learn some phrasing techniques so that we can play melodically over a backing track, over our favourite songs, or if you have any jamming buddies, if you go and you can jam, you'll immediately be getting into that room and be able to play along with them. Sound like fun? Alright. It sounds like a lot, right? But I've taught this a lot and it works, alright? It's all about having some fun. So I want to make sure you guys can hear me okay, right? So that... we cool? Alright, so the way today is going to go is we're going to get right into the lesson, and then we'll have the winners of today's challenges, and I'm going to explain what the challenge is for next week. So remember, the Facebook group will be open for 1 week. Okay, so it shuts next Friday. Now, my school is also opening up for enrollment at the end of this lesson, as you know, and that finishes next week as well. And next Friday, we'll announce the winner that's going to win this, alright? It doesn't matter if you've won already, everybody's going to get a shot to win this bad boy. Okay? I'm going to pack it up and I'm going to ship it to the winner on Friday. And on Friday, next Friday, we're going to have a finale. Okay, one last live. I'll probably do another lesson and we'll have a little celebration. And after that, we'll have our first Council of Chords meeting in the community. And everybody who's joined the school will all hang out with our blues hats and we'll welcome you all in and have a good laugh. Alright, so more on that in the end. I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to let you hear from some of the guys from the community that were actually in the last boot camp and it signed up, just so you can get an idea of what to expect and how it can improve your guitar journey, alright? So, but first, let's get right into it, alright? So we need to have a little recap, guys. Okay, so, again, this lesson builds on everything that we've done through the week. So just take note of how having a structured, linear plan, you know, it helps. Okay, so let's see what we've looked at. So we looked at the pentatonic scale. Alright, so let's see. Let's go through this together, right? We get pattern 1 in A minor. So walk through this with me, guys, alright? Let's get our fingers warmed up before we start getting into the cool stuff, alright? 5-8, 5-7, 5-7, 5-7, 5-8, 5-8. I'm appreciating all the likes, by the way, so thank you very much for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Remember, if you're joining us for the first time, you can click the link in the description and get access to the Facebook group and all the materials that you get with this. Alright, so we looked at the shape. We also looked at how we can play the shape in triplets, alright, by just counting to 3 with each note. 1, 2, 3, triple-a, 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 triple-a. Alright, to make it a little bit more musical. We also looked at the sequences. Alright, so we've got that sequence here. Alright, so we climb up. I still need to practice as well. So, the exercises we covered yesterday, we also covered the extension. Alright, where we can climb, we can play the scale across the neck. Alright, so let's climb that from number 3 on the low E. 3, 5, 3, 5, 7. We take that shape again and down. 1 fret, or 1 string, sorry, to the D string. 5, 7, 5, 7, 9. Then 8, 10, 8, 10, 12. And I can't express the value in repeating this and getting the reps in and building the muscle memory with this little run. And just bring in some slides to that. Just bring things a little bit closer. Alright, and we're really going to see that in action today. Now, let me see, although this is obviously a blues boot camp, when you listen to guys, my favourite blues players like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, John Mayer and the likes, it's not really 12-bar bluesies that they do that, right, but it's not really what they're playing. They're playing blues, they're playing soul, they're taking all the stuff from the blues scale and stuff like that, and the pentatonic scale, and they're playing it over really melodic tracks. So this isn't just about playing over blues tracks, this is about playing melodically over anything really. And we're going to look at that in just a second. Now, one thing you definitely need to remember, alright, because we're just about to do an exercise together here, alright, where you need to have your ears open. We're going to learn how to play by ear. Is we need to remember the notes on the fretboard. So you just the low E string, right? Okay, so remember we've got 12 notes. E, F, F sharp. So the only thing we need to remember is B and E don't have sharps. So B and E don't have sharps. It just means we go right to the next note, and every other note has a sharp. So we go E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and then we go right back to the beginning. We go back to A, the beginning of the alphabet. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and B doesn't have a sharp, so we go right to C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and then we're back to the octave on the 12th fret, right? So even if we just know the top two strings there, alright, then that's enough. Alright, I'm just going out. Okay, we've got a lot of people with us. Very good. Okay, just checking. I will be checking in the questions to see if anybody is getting anything. So Shelley, you've asked, is the extension also a form of the pentatonic? It is. Now the way to think about it is the pentatonic scale is only 5 notes, right? 5 notes that repeat over and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the patterns are just simply that. They're a visual tool to help us navigate where those notes are. Okay? Alright, and it's a lot of fun when you build up that muscle memory doing that. So, anyways, we know the notes in the top string, right? Now, the next thing we want to do is I'm going to give you a little task here. I'm going to play a little track, alright, that I've recorded on my guitar looper here. And I want you to tell me what key it is, alright? And you're going to be able to do that, right, by, or what note it is, right? What note resonates most with it. Now, what you do is you listen to the track, and you play the notes, right, until you find one note that resonates with all the chords in the track. Okay? And once you found that note, I want you to write it in the comments. Okay? So there will be a little bit of lag, so I'm going to play this little track here, and I want you guys, as soon as you figure it out, to post. I'm going to get the comments up. To comment what note it is. Okay? There we go. Alright, so again, go along the top string until you find the note that resonates most, and then I want you to write it in the comments. On you go. Dum da da dum. Dum da da da. Alright, just waiting on the comments coming in, guys. What key are we playing in? Or just tell me the note. Is it E? Is it F? Alright, they're coming in now. A, G, A. Alright. C, interesting. Derek says A. Deborah says A minor. Tony says A, John says A. Okay. Good, right, so. And it's difficult for sometimes you might think that sounds okay. But then keep on going. Hear that? Okay. That's step number 1, right? Step number 2, to be able to improvise freely over this, is to then figure out, is it minor or is it major? Because that's going to have a big impact on the scale that we use, right? Because if it's major, we don't want to use the minor scale, because it'll sound kind of weird. Alright, so I have a formula for this. You might have seen it before. It's genius, and if I don't say so myself. And it's called I Won the Lottery. And all you do is you sing I Won the Lottery over the track, and then, you know, it should kind of clearly state if it's major or minor. Alright, so think about it, guys. I want you to do this with me. I want you to scream like you've won the lottery. I won the lottery! I won the lottery. I won. Hee-haw. That's what we'd say in Scotland, right? So you can see that, right? If you try and say something positive and it just doesn't suit, then it's minor. And it's a very simple way, in black and white way of putting things, that minor's sad and major's happy. Alright, that's how I taught my kids in my school. But technically it's kind of true, right? Minor is like, it could be more bluesy, more melancholic and stuff, and major would be more associated with like country and, you know, happy stuff, happy pop and and things. Okay, so now that we've clarified that it's minor, okay, Deborah, minor, I don't win the lottery. Me neither, Deborah. Me neither. But who knows? Maybe we will at some point. So I'm going to play that again. Now I know it's minor and I know it's A. let's try and play A minor pentatonic over it, right? So let's switch it up. Let's try the sequence. Triplets. Right, and some of you are asking that why C sounded okay, and I'm going to get to that in a second, right? Alright, so that works. Right, let's try the extension. Now, let's try and... Don't need to go fast, just play the notes, right? And just see how they all resonate, right? They all sound good. And listen to that root note here. Alright. Okay, so what we're going to do now, before we learn how to jam over it, right? Just looking at the comments. Before we learn how to jam, guys, right? Because that's what we're really going to be able to do by the end of this, right? Again, this is a step-by-step process. We are going to learn a few different techniques that we can, and a few different things that we can do. So again, we've got different things, right? Different kind of tools in our tool belt, right? We've got slides. Okay, I'm going to bring it in closer a little bit. Okay, so if I play that, different techniques I'm thinking about. So I've got slides. You can use vibrato. Now you don't want to do that. You don't want to, when you're vibrating, you kind of want to use your wrist and just have it slightly going down and up. Just bringing down a bit of tension and releasing again. Alright, you want to think when you play a note, like, and this is going to be more difficult for beginners and stuff, but if you're playing this stuff and you're working on it, you know, this is how you add a little bit more expression, alright? You want to practice just with one finger? With a couple. But one of my favourite techniques to use, right? I wasn't really planning on talking about vibrato and stuff. But I did want to talk about double stops. Okay? Alright, and this, ever since I started using them, I'm totally addicted to them, and I really use them in my playing. Now, what I want you to look at here, right, is the scale, and understand where double stops are coming from. Now, double stops is just when you play two strings at once, right, and you go... You're just playing two notes of the scale at the same time, and it gives you that kind of beefy Hendrix kind of vibe, right? That kind of thing. So what I'm doing here, right, my favourite little move, right, that I use all the time. Just taking right from Bold as Love. That little move there, right? Stolen right from Jimmy the Man, right? So here, we bar the bottom two strings, right? Like this. This is in the extension. 8 and 8, and a hammer on 8 to 10. And just to show you, right, you can do this on acoustic as well. I do it all the time, same thing. Alright, I do like to use it. It works well on both instruments. And again, this is a more advanced technique, but before we get into playing melodically and stuff, I just want to show you a few different tools that you can add in. Again, this would be a more advanced concept, okay? So again, I'm barring the bottom two strings, or the high strings, and hammering on from 8 to 10. On the B, but I'm still getting the high E when I'm picking. And then I'm doing this little double stop. And these are all notes from the scale. This is all the extension. But it's about how we combine them like that, right? So you get this. Then this little move here, you get your first finger on 7 on the G, middle finger on 8 on the B. You get those together and then you hammer on with your third finger to 9 on the G. Right, and then you can slide that. Alright, I like to keep all fingers in the same position. And so, and try and slide back down to the main box here, right? And then take those fingers off. And I'm actually getting this little minor note here, which is pretty cool. And then it's a little run that I practice all the time. To the D, and then I bar the two middle strings and hammer on from 5 to 7. And then I slide from 7 to 5 and 3, just climbing up that scale. Right, and I'll see if I can get some tab for this, guys, right? Because I know I can hear you all screaming at me. But actually, it's one thing that I've added to my own playing that I think has given me some versatility. Because I think one thing that happens, you'll be familiar with the feeling that you're playing the same licks over and over. I mean, who's had that experience, right? You just feel like every time you pick up the guitar, you play the same thing. So having things like double stops, another thing I'll use, things like sixths, and these are things that I've been going over with the community in the last couple of weeks. Adding these things to your playing just gives you different options, right? So you don't need to go through scales. You can say, okay, I'm going to play some double stops now. I'm going to play some sixths. And the more stuff you add to your tool belt, the more stuff you'll have, alright? But I'm going to bring it back to a simpler concept. Now this could be one of the best exercises you do when it comes to playing over music or playing melodically or improvising. And it is to sing the music and then try and play it on the guitar. Now I've chosen this song for a reason. Alright, it's House of the Rising Sun, if you haven't figured it out. Okay, and all those notes, because I figured out it's an A minor, that I can use the A minor scale. Okay, now there are other notes that I can use. Let's look at, where are we? Okay, now this right here is the A minor scale, and I've added in the other two notes from the minor scale at the bottom. Okay, now there are notes up here as well, but I just want you to concentrate on these notes here, right? Because these are the notes we're going to use. Alright, so we go 8, 7, 5, 8, 6, 5, 7, 5, 4. And I'm just going to repeat, guys, that we have a whole week to go over this, right, and get something in. Okay? So 8, 7, 5, 8, 6, 5, 7, 5, 4. And if I add that, okay, you can see that those notes all work pretty well with that, right? The purple notes are the notes that I've added in from the pentatonic to make it the minor scale. Okay, so remember that the pentatonic scale is just 5 notes derived from the 7-note minor scale, or major scale, depending on if you're playing major or minor. But I've just added in the other two notes, the two notes that are missing there, because if we're playing something that is not a 1-4-5, that's not bluesy, then and there's room there for other more melody, all right, that isn't just rock, then yeah, we can start experimenting with adding in these other notes. Okay, and that's going to be important when I want to find the notes that I need if I want to play over a track like this. So if I know that all the notes for that song are in the minor scale, right? So I could go, alright, and that's why you need to know all the notes in the minor scale as well, right? But the exercise that I would do here is try and figure that out at first, right? So try to figure out, okay, I've got this note, now let me try and sing that song. Okay, and you'll hear the greats like tell you that this is where real soloing comes from, right? It comes from hearing something and trying to play it, and that only comes with practice. Alright, you're not meant to be able to do that right away unless you're a guitar virtuoso. Okay, you just need to start practicing. Okay, there was oh, that sounds better. There was a house in New Orleans. They call. Right, you need to do that. You need to, and that what you're doing is you're training your ear to notice the intervals. Alright, the space between notes. So you know, just like you would know naturally with your voice where the next pitch is or where to go, you're training your fingers to do that. You're training your fingers to be just like your voice. Okay, there was a house in New Orleans. And the more you practice that, it doesn't need to be a House of the Rising Sun. You can pick any song. Alright, and you can do that and start practicing. Okay, and then there's the next step, which I'm going to show you right now. So all I'm showing you right now is the process, guys, and then it's your job to kind of go and take these processes and do something with it, right? So Carol, where can we get the backing track? So I just recorded that in my looper, okay, but I have found a backing track on YouTube, alright, that I'll share with y'all, so you can practice this, you can practice doing it over the House of the Rising Sun backing track. Okay, so we'll look at that in a second. But the challenge doesn't necessarily have to be play over the House of the Rising Sun. Okay, so we've looked at that. Now let's try, and the way that I think about when I'm playing something melodically, right, is you get the note, you get the melody first, right? Because a lot of times people will just start playing licks, right, and just like messing around and noodling with the pentatonic scale. But if you try and think about the melody and then just try and embellish upon it, all right, and keep that melody in your mind when you're playing, all right. Let me start again. Alright, and basically you're taking licks. I was taking things like double stops, bends, but the whole time I'm kind of singing that to myself, right? There was a house, bum 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 bum, bum bum bum, beep bum bum bum, beep bum bum beep bum bum beep bum bum bum, beep bum 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 bum. Alright, and then that's it. You're kind of ad-libbing on top of things, right? And that's just a little technique. Again, it's all one step after the other. You're not meant to get there right away, but that's where you go. You learn the scales, you learn the muscle memory, You learn to play by ear by practicing the intervals, practicing singing the melody with the notes, and then thinking melody over licks is nugget. I think nugget means good, right? But yeah, so there's a difference between licks and phrasing. Because every time you play it a little bit different. You're, again, it's more like you're singing, okay? And you're not just repeating licks and stuff that you know. Once you start thinking like that, I think things open up quite a lot. Alright? That's why I think guys like B.B. King can play the same notes, alright, over and over and over again, but it always sounds good because it always sounds expressive and different because he's not playing licks, he's singing. You hear him, he'll go, the thrill is gone, and then he'll just repeat it, he'll just ad-lib what he's singing, really, alright? So again, guys, by paying attention to what the guys that we love do, we can understand how we really play expressively with the guitar. Okay. Anyways, that's what I think. Anyway, now we're on to another thing, right? We've covered that, right? But we didn't discuss what we do if it's major, right? So I've got another little track that I recorded. Is it major or minor? Did you win the lottery? I feel like I won the lottery. Just the way you bounce. Immediately we know it's major. I know you're thinking, Tony, you must be some dancer. And you'd be right. Alright, okay, so it's major. So what do we do, right? Let's find the note. I'm going to wait here for a second. And I'm going to wait for the notes coming in. So again, do the same thing. And let's find the note on the top string. Okay, or the low string, whatever we call it, right? The low E string. Let's do it. It's definitely not F, right? So on you go, guys. Toe tapping equals major. That's a good formula, Dennis. And I wasn't saying phase, I meant phrase. As in phrases, as in speaking a phrase. This is Jason Mraz, I'm Yours, by the way. For any interested, it's that chord progression. And again, I found it in this key. I've not found the backing track, but I found it in this key so that you can still jam along with the same thing if you want on YouTube. Alright, C, 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 A minor, A, C, C. Okay, good guys. So now you'd both be correct, right? A and C, right? And this is where it gets interesting. That's right, okay, or alright. But if I try and play the pentatonic, nah. Go home, Tony. Right, okay, so it's not that, right? So what we do, I'm going to bring it close up, right? Is we bring it, if we want to play major pentatonic, right? If we want to play minor, we start with our index finger and we go into pattern 1. If we want to do major pentatonic, C major, we climb 3 frets back, 1, 2, 3, and then we start with our pinky on the C note and we go into shape 1. Now why does that sound major and that sounds minor and it's the exact same notes? Every major chord has its evil twin. Okay? That's the way to think about it. So C has A minor. G has E minor. Alright? Every A has F sharp minor. Every major chord has its minor twin, which means that they share the same notes. And this is technically what modes are. The same scale, but when you start at a different place, a different perspective, alright, it's very much like life, alright? One day you're feeling minor, next day you're feeling major, alright? The way it goes. Alright, so it means that if you concentrate around the C note, that's your root. This scale now becomes C major pentatonic. The exact same pattern, the exact same notes, but it's what you focus on. Okay? And if I wanted to play A major pentatonic, again I would go 3 frets back. Alright, so yeah, so let's just see how that sounds. So let's do this together with me, guys, right? I want you to play C major pentatonic, and we're going to start the root note this time, right? We've got it on the 8th fret, on the low E, also on the high E, and on the G, number 5. Okay, so let's jam. All right, I'm gonna get the scale back up again. Where are we? Here we go. Okay, so forget the red notes there, right? We want to swap them around to what I just showed you. Okay. Alright, C major pentatonic. And again, we can add in the extension. And we've got the root there as well on the A string, and this the 3rd fret. And again, here. Remember the octave track, you're playing the same thing here. Alright, now, same thing, you can find the melody. You can play double stops. Add in, now here's where it gets cool as well, right? See if you add in the minor notes, right? Now this becomes now the major scale and not the minor scale, right? Because again we focus on that C note. You play until you screw up, right? Which was getting very close to me there. Alright. Okay, and again, we can take all of that stuff, the double stops, everything, and play it over the minor. Alright. Okie dokies. Alright, so guys, I am just gonna come off right now and see how you're all doing, right? That is a lot. Okay, and just like I've repeated in the previous lessons, it's not meant to be learned in a day. Alright, I've just tried to cram out as much as what I feel you need to do Just my processes anyway, how I've kind of thought about improvising. Doing the muscle memory work first, doing the scale work, sequences, muscle memory, triplets, find the melody, train your ear, alright, and then when you stick on a track, right, get double stops, all build up all these techniques, and then when you play the track, and you've done all that work, eventually, and I promise you this, right, I promise you, because I've been exactly where you are, eventually, you just let it go. And don't get me wrong, right, I'm by no means an expert at this yet, I'm still working on it every day, and I love it, and I see myself getting better every day, because I enjoy it so much. I can see things that used to sound amateur, sounding not so amateur now, alright, and it just goes by doing the muscle memory. I feel like a broken record, but that really is what it is. Doing all that, and you'll get there. So these lessons that you've had, build on each other, keep them, study them, keep on referring back to them, and I think, that is, you'll get there. Alright. So we get any questions about any of that so far? I am hot. I don't know why, because it's not that hot in Scotland. Improv makes you sweaty. Fact. Alright, so alright, so we've had a few light bulb moments, it looks like, here, so that's good to see. Okay. So before we get into the challenge for next week to win the guitar, and before we announce the two winners tonight who are going to win $50 bills, not $50 bills, $50 vouchers for Amazon. Again, the school is opening in 18 minutes. It's opening up for enrollment, and this is where you get to take the party, you get to take everything that you're doing right now, and we get to continue it together. So I just want to ask you, I want you to ask yourself if you found that this worked for you, this format. Not learning 5 days solid is as intense as that, but having a community that supports you, that's cheering you on, having to upload videos, having a challenge, alright, every week, having something you don't learn, and having a teacher that can give you feedback, and have someone that you can interact with. If all of those things, and again for me that's the recipe for a success. My job as a teacher, I've always seen it, is not just about teaching you stuff and showing you how to do stuff. It's about providing an environment where you thrive, where you're surefire to learn, where you wake up and you're motivated to learn. You don't have bedroom guitar syndrome anymore. You're not sitting with your guitar, slinging in a chair on your own, bouncing from YouTube channel to YouTube channel. You have a goal every week and you're excited to get up and play, and you see yourself get better with a structured plan, but you've got the A to Z steps, alright? So this is everything that I've tried to include in my community. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share with you, right, before I open it up, and you can all come on, I'm going to let you hear from some of the guys that are already in the community, that were in the bootcamp last time, and joined up, alright, and what their experience has been so far. Okay, so let me just go over here. Alright, so Manny just posted one, so you might have seen Manny around, and he said a little something. So this is Manny. Manny actually does open mics every week, so he hosts them, and this is where you can jump on. He'll create a live and you come on, and everybody takes turns at playing at whatever they're working on, alright, which is a lot of fun.
Hello everyone, I just want to give a quick shout out to Tony and his Acoustic Ascension course. I've been playing since COVID, it's about 4 years now, and I've done several courses. When I entered into this one, immediately I noticed how quickly I was advancing, how each exercise is a piece of its own, and you can add it to your repertoire, and trust me, you're going to use it later, and it just becomes part of your guitar playing. Thank you, Tony, for putting everything together. A couple of my favorite things are, like I said, each piece is a work in itself, and you add it to your repertoire. Number two, the community is outstanding. You get a lot of like-minded people. Everybody's at different levels, but we all help each other. We record our own videos, we post it, we get great feedback, We do council of the chords. We do open mic where we get together in community style and help each other. And just the whole program puts together everything you need to be a proficient guitar player. And when I entered this, I was learning how to play the instrument. Now I feel like I can play guitar, and I'm actually pretty proficient at it. We're still working on getting to the advanced part, amazing part. But anyways, Tony, thank you so much, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye.
Excellent. And thank you so much for that, Manny. It's been a pleasure having you on the community, and I appreciate that very much. Now, we've got a few other ones, just maybe two more. I'm not going to bore you too much. These are all available on the site, so you can see them for yourself. Let's listen to Greg. Greg, you'll see him again on the community, and he joined at the last bootcamp.
When I got up this morning, there was this challenge for my disorder about writing a song with the words.
Oh, I think this is the wrong one. I think it was another one. There it is. Here, sorry.
Just the other night on Tony's community, we have something called the Council of Chords, and I was discussing all things musical, things to do with guitars, with pianos, and just, having a laugh. And I was here in England, and other people were in, I don't know where they were, America, all over the place. And we were just talking, and I didn't expect that when I joined Tony's community. I didn't expect the dedication to community that exists. It's been one of the most extraordinary experiences of my life. There's a council of chords, and then we have something called the open mic, and you can just sit there, and there's no pressure to play, but people just pick up the guitar and do something, and time and distance means nothing. People sitting on their porch, I don't know, in California or Texas, and I'm here, and we're playing, and we're giving each other feedback. These are things that I could never have envisaged before I joined the community. My own situation is one of massive isolation because I'm a full-time carer, and I cannot thank Tony and the community enough for helping, for doing more to break that isolation than anybody else has ever done. And as far as my guitar playing, I can't describe the joy of being able to do what I want to do on the guitar. And not only that, I'm a songwriter, and this course, this whole community has given me infinitely more confidence in singing, performing, in my music. So just a huge thank you, Tony. Thank you. You're really touching, you're really changing lives. Your work is of such value. I can't say that enough. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh man, this makes me quite emotional, to be honest with you. It's been fantastic to have Greg on this site. And that's the thing. It feels like you make real connections on here. You make real friends, and it's so much more than anything else that I've discovered on the internet. And yeah, I don't know how it's came like this, but it's something special, and there's only one way to really show you guys, and that is to give you the experience yourself. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to move on. This is Chad. Chad's been with me from the very start, and he's one of my moderators now, and he'll have a little chat with you here as well, and then we'll get moving on.
Hey, boot campers, Chad here. Just wanted to drop in and say hey to you guys. I've been with Tony for about a year now. I do some help out on the website a little bit, hosting some calls and things like that. So just wanted to talk a little bit about the lessons, a little bit about the community, and I'll get out of your hair. First is the lessons. If you are new to guitar, this blues boot camp probably seems like a lot, and that's because it is. There's a lot of concepts, chord shapes, scales, progressions, just things that may be new to you. the great thing about the way Tony has structured his lessons is that there's overlap. So for example, let's say the 1-4-5 is new to you, the chord progressions. Well, and you didn't retain that much of it this week. That's fine, because it'll come up again later, and then the next time you will have heard of it before, so you've got a little base. Then the next time it comes up, you've got a little better understanding, so you can start building on it, and before you know it, it's like you've always known it. Oh, shoot. So that's the lessons. Community, as I said, I host some calls a couple of times a week. We do the Council of Chords, which is could be anything. Sometimes Tony comes on and does impromptu lessons. Sometimes we just sit around and chit chat about what's going on our guitar journey. Maybe you got a new guitar, maybe you just got back from vacation and you're having some trouble getting back in the groove. We're all here for you, and the support of the group can really help you kind of get over that hump and stay with it. We do open mics. Open mics are similar, but people play more music. Maybe it's the lesson you're working on that week. Maybe it's a new song you've learned. Maybe you don't play at all. Maybe you just come on and hang out, and somebody will play a song, and then we sit and talk for a little bit, and then somebody plays a song. There's no rules, Lastly, I want to talk about, I'm really excited. Next week, I'm starting a member spotlight. It'll be a weekly call, volunteer basis. I'm going to go first and kind of fill it out, just let everybody see how it works. But it just gives everybody a chance. We got new people coming. We've had some new people since the last boot camp. Gives everybody a chance. Maybe I know somebody better than one of the new people does, and they need to ask some questions about something that they've heard us talk about, or and just try to help build that community get a little more interconnected, so that when you are posting your videos, that they you're not posting to strangers, and the feedback means more when it's people you know, and you see how much everybody on here encourages and cares about each other. It's a really, really healthy is the word that's coming to mind, like learning environment, very supportive. I have a lot of fun there. The lessons have been great. I don't want to downplay how great Tony is as a teacher. But the community is what has kept me here. That's what's kept me on my journey and helped me stay focused. And you'll have days when you just don't feel like picking the guitar up, and then somebody will post a video and you go, oh man, they've really gotten better since last time. I need to get on it. And it feels good to encourage the other person as you're trying to improve as well. So all that being said, we gained some really cool people after the last boot camp. I really hope we gain some more this time around. And I hope to see some of you guys over on the site next week. If you have any questions, there's a direct message option on there. Feel free to reach out to me, or in the comments on the YouTube. Either way, hope to see y'all next week. Thanks for listening.
Brilliant, Chad. And Chad has become like a really close friend over the last period as well, which is amazing. And again, that's what you do. You build up connections on here. It's so much more different than your average kind of group. And again, just as a little reminder, when you join the community, this is what you get. So you've got everything, just so you know, if you're a beginner or whatever, there's something for everybody. You can start off the 10-day beginners challenge. Beginners guitar lessons here, guitar courses. You graduate, you've got my YouTube lessons with tab as well. You graduate to the academy, and then you can access all these lessons at any time. You can go through acoustic ascension, lead guitar, the advanced course, the blues course, looping, and then you've got the live classroom. That's where I go live every week, just like we're doing right now, and I do a live class, alright, and I give you a challenge. You post your videos, Alright, just like we've been doing now. You get feedback, and then you've got the Council of Chords, where we have our live face-to-face calls with everybody. So there's a lot in it, guys. And now I'm sure you're all kind of like wondering, okay, right, so Tony, what is the price of all this? So let me come back. Where are we? Alright, so what's the price of all this? So basically, all you need to do to get access to all this is buy my Acoustic Ascension course. Alright, which is £297. And you get the first year, you get it completely free. Alright, so all you do is buy the course and you get everything. It's over $2,000 worth of stuff that you get in total. I'm just going to show you. Where are we? Right, yeah, so the annual membership, £297. It works out at, I think, $367. Alright, you pay that, and you get the Acoustic Ascension course for life. So you've got that course. And then you get access to all this stuff, right? So you've got lead guitar, advanced ascension, play the blues, all the courses that we looked at. Backing tracks, music theory, workbook. And then you get the full community access. So you get the Council of Chords live meeting. You get live classes every week with me. You get boot camps and things that we're doing. You get to upload videos, go live with members. You get the open mics as well. Alright, with Manny. And then the other option you've got, like I said yesterday, there's a private option. Alright, where you get to get private lessons with me. So you get everything you do with the first option, right? And everything's the same. You can pay in dollars as well, by the way. But you get 6 lessons from me. So this is if you want some private coaching with yours truly, we can do that as well. Alright, so you get everything included. And you also get lifetime access. I need to say that as well. It's not a subscription. So with the $750 option, you get it for life, and you get 6 lessons with myself. Now, for those that sign up before Sunday at midnight BST, everybody will get a complimentary lesson with me. Alright, so if you purchase the $297, you'll get a lesson with myself. And we can use that to plan out. We can look at the site, and I can give you a pathway to follow. Alright, so that you know what to do, and I can give you some kind of structure to do. Or if you've got anything guitar related you want to go over, we can do that as well. And obviously the coaching plans are different. I'll create a plan for you, and every week you'll get missions from me directly, and then we'll have our lesson and we'll go over everything, right? It's a really structured way of getting somewhere fast. Now for that option as well, because it is quite a bit, there is a buy now pay later option, so you can pay in installments, because I know it is a big wad of money, so you can do that, alright, through Klarna or ClearPay, and that is available when you select the pound option. Alright, okay, so I don't like selling, guys. It's not like, but this is such an amazing thing that we have here, and I feel like the only way to show you without selling it is to give you that demonstration. So what we've been doing this week, showing you how big an impact community can have, showing you what it's like to have a goal and a structure, and uploading your videos shows how good that can be. So hopefully if you've enjoyed it, you're thinking about it, then just think about how much you would pay for a guitar lesson. Alright, I think it works out the course like £24 per month. Alright, and everything that you get with it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share that link. You've got it in the description. I'm also going to share it in the comments here, right? And I'll answer any questions. You can message me, you can email me at tony@guitarmade.easy.com if you've got any questions. And I'm going to post this down here. If I can, actually. There we go. So Dennis, you said a huge value but also huge time commitment. Well, you can put as much time into it as you want. In terms of the live classes, you can show up for one. You don't need to show up to them all. And there's always the replays there. So if you miss one week, the replays are available. So on the 9th of September, we're starting our next bootcamp, alright, which is a blues bootcamp, believe it or not, but it's the next level blues bootcamp, and we're going to do that over 12 weeks. So it's basically taking everything that we've done this week and then expanding it, going up the neck using things like triads and caged and all these different concepts so that we're really able to pick up the guitar and play all over the fretboard freely. Alright, so that's coming up on the 9th of September. That's the next bootcamp. I go live normally every Monday, and you get the replay available to catch up on. Alright. Okay, guys, so you've got everything there. Now, moving on to the challenge for this week, right? What I want you guys to do is take a backing track and use all that information and try and play something melodic. Alright, doesn't need to be something complicated. Alright, you can just use the scale and try and come up with something. Now, I'm going to leave, on the site, I'm going to leave links to 2 backing tracks. One, The House of the Rising Sun, and one is just the Jason Mraz song, but it's in the key of C. So you can use that, or find one yourself. Go on Spotify, go on YouTube, get a backing track, and play along with it. Alright, and just have a go. And let's see, and the winner next week, it's not just going to be based on, who's put in the most effort and things. I just want to show you that a lot of what we do, right, a lot of the way things, what I pay a lot of attention to is this. Alright, it's who's engaging the most. Right, it's not the only factor, but it's who is posting, who is also lifting people up, who's commenting on other videos and stuff. And you can see a lot of them have already won something already. But 2 here who haven't is Ralph and Deborah. Alright, so Ralph and Deborah, you are tonight's winners, and you're going to win $50 vouchers. Alright, so I need you to send me, where am I? I need you to send me an email to, I have my email somewhere here. No, I don't. Tony@guitarmade.easy.com, or just message me on the Facebook group or make something there, and I'll get Amazon vouchers over to you directly. Alright, so guys, and for those that do the challenge pretty quickly, don't be surprised if I do some pop-up challenges with little videos throughout the week to keep people going. So let's keep this group going. Let's keep it on fire, guys, because there's still a guitar to win. There's still plenty to do. Alright, so I'm going to love yous and leave yous there. So thank you so much for joining me this week. It's been incredible. I've had such a good time. I hope you have too. And, again, I hope to see you on the other side in the community. But if not, thank you anyway. It's been great to have you here. Everybody's energy's been fantastic. And it's just a joy for me in general to do this. Alright, so take it easy, guys. And I'm just going to answer a couple of questions here, actually. Julie, I'm out of the country for 6 weeks. See, it doesn't matter if you're out of the country or whatever. You've got you'll have all the lessons here. Now, this enrollment isn't going to start. We're not going to be enrolling until next year again. All right. So this isn't like a time thing. You don't need to have any time commitment for this. Okay. You just do the lessons when you like. All right. When you want. You don't miss any courses. They are. If we do any lives, they're all recorded and you can get them on the site. So, like for example, the lives that we do in the live classroom, where are we? Down here. Where are we? Right. So we do the posting challenges. Okay. The weekly live lesson. Sorry, over here. You can see all the videos that we've done, and you just click on them. And then you've got the event link there, so you can watch it again, and you've got that there forever. Okay, so there's some guys on the site that don't take part in the challenges; they just like the lessons. Some do, so it's really down to yourself. You can take part in as much as you'd like. All right, brilliant, Julie, you're on board. Thank you. I'm dying to see you over there. It's going to be excellent. And again, anybody else that's over there, it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Alright guys, take it easy, have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you around the group.